Welcome back to the show, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving. This is a special short episode on Thanksgiving morning of the Far From Okay podcast. I once again want to thank everybody for all the love and support we've been getting. It seems like the shorts are keeping everybody invited, and you guys are liking the episodes, so we'll keep more of it coming. But I just wanted to touch base a little bit today on this day of thanks and reflection, I guess, is the best way to look at it. Just I think this is the time of year where you can kind of look back on the year and put things in perspective, and I hope everybody has a good one and you're close with your family and loved ones. This is the day where gifts aren't really an issue. It's one of the main holidays where giving away things really isn't it. Buying product really isn't it. It's all about spending time with people we may or may not see that often, and just showing your appreciation and a little bit of reflection and relaxation after the entire year. And I think that's a good thing. I think that we live in a good space for reflection. I think the luxuries that we have a lot of times offer us the opportunity to grow from reflection and taking a look at things. You know, like myself personally, I don't know. I wasn't always the person that I'm trying to be today, and I don't even know that I put effort into it at some points, but through the opportunities that I've been given and through the love of my family that I have, man, it's something that's transformed who I am and changed my belief system and put me in a place where I want better for the people around me now. And I haven't always been that way, and so I'm thankful that I got the opportunity to see things from a different perspective and try and create something that's positive for the people around me and create opportunity for those around me instead of just kind of leeching off each other's energies, and constantly just living by the minimums. It's good to take a look at yourself this time of year and realize what you're thankful for. I have a beautiful family. I have a beautiful daughter. Things aren't exactly how I'd like them to be all the time, but we're making progress, and we're creating opportunities for ourselves by the hard work that we're putting in every day. And I'm just thankful that we're blessed that we have the opportunity to do the hard work, to even put ourselves in line, to be successful as we have been to this point, because there was a long time where we just didn't put in the effort that direction, and we didn't try the way that we should have been. And there were times where we were selfish enough to think that we had the opportunities in front of us, even though we didn't deserve the opportunities that were in front of us. And so now we're at a point where we know what we want, and we know what direction we want to head, and we're blessed enough to have the support systems around us to keep us that way. And it is harder. It is harder to do the right thing. There's no question, but it is always a better reward. In my opinion anyways. And I'm not standing on a soapbox. I still have a lot of work to do. I got a lot of improvements to make, but this year we got a lot done around the house. My daughter's, she's just growing up so great. She's so intelligent. She's so bright. My wife is a hard-working woman, and I work myself, and we've been able to stick to the script and put a lot together this year, and it's really started to pay off. And I think that works for everybody equally. But I thought it took a while to come to this place, and I'm just thankful for God having the patience to deal with me, and for life rebounding me a couple times to be able to get my feet under me and finally get my head straight. So this Thanksgiving, just take a look at things around you. It's not a day for politics. It's not a day to look at the day itself and dissect it, for what it's worth in history. This is all about reflection, and it's just all about looking around the room and smiling to yourself and saying, things are probably better off than they could have been, and for that we're thankful and we're blessed. It's all about where you are right this second as an overview of where you were last year at this time. And if you're in a better place, then you really don't have too much to complain about. The idea of the day of Thanksgiving, I know a lot gets lost on where we've been in recent years, what with hating statues and burning flags and stuff like that. I believe that there is a sensitivity to the indigenous people for the holiday, but it's way spun out of control. I was reading up on my history, as it were, and the Europeans brought this holiday with them when they came to this country, and the Indians had their own variation of it. And in 1620 was when the first holiday of Thanksgiving was celebrated between the Indians, the indigenous people of the United States, and the settlers who had come here on the Mayflower. They lost about half of their crew. They went from 106 to 50 over a period of one winter because they weren't acclimated to the area. And the indigenous people came in and helped them out, showed them how to farm, showed them how to do things, really saved them and picked them up and put them on their feet in an area where they never had any idea of what they were dealing with. And so there was a relationship formed. There was actually Squanto, the Indian that escaped, and then Squanto escaped. He escaped slavery in Europe, went to London, got on an expedition to come back to his people, and was able to work as a mediator between the indigenous people and the pilgrims at the time. And they were really in a hard place. And the Thanksgiving that was celebrated was about a bountiful harvest and a time of being thankful. See, back then people really did put faith in things that they couldn't see, and so they were very thankful for things that they didn't necessarily have in front of them, like deities or religion to that degree. They had thanks for the things that happened positively for them, and then they had negative emotions towards droughts and stuff like that. The first Thanksgiving happened 1620 and wasn't celebrated again until 1623, as the record states, through the Plymouth Rock Mayflower people. But the reality was that in the 1500s there was a Spaniard that came, and they celebrated Thanksgiving in their own variation. So it's actually a holiday that's been celebrated around the world in many, many different ways. It all coincides with a fall harvest. It all has everything to do with being bountiful at the end of the year, reflection and thanks and stuff like that. But to make it one-dimensional, all about Christopher Columbus coming here and stealing the land, and all, that's not exactly what happened. So people need to be a little more informed on these things, because it's a shame to take such a morally wholesome holiday and turn it into something historically horrifying, because I don't believe that's exactly how it went. Now, anything could have happened. There's different stories and stuff like that. From what I understand, the Indians at that time, the indigenous people that lived in the United States at that time, they had a bond for over 50 years with the settlers. The settlers almost got wiped out by the elements before they stepped in. So there was a lot there, but the actual idea of giving thanks and celebrating the harvest, that's a global phenomenon. It has nothing to do with just coming here, taking everything, and leaving some people to die and rot. I don't think people understand that it couldn't be further from the truth. Now, maybe things happened along the way that created tensions and created fighting, but the reality is the idea of a fall harvest thanks celebration, or whatever it's called, usually back in the day it was done with fasting, but you would fast and then you would have a major meal. But the holiday wasn't even recognized until George Washington recognized it, and it was actually made a national holiday by Abraham Lincoln. So it's a holiday that we developed in the 1800s that came from settlers in the 1600s that was even predated before that by cultures around the world. So it's almost arrogant to think that we own Thanksgiving or the idea of it, and that only negativity was the foundation for how it was developed, because it's really something that's global. It's a mindset. It's anybody that has been culturally working from the earth from the dawn of time has celebrated as a result of basically just the four seasons and the bountiful harvest that they celebrate at the end of the year. It has nothing to do with hate. It has nothing to do with trying to celebrate somebody's displacement. It has nothing to do with trying to celebrate somebody being stepped on, walked on, anything like that. So if for that population of America that feels that way, I'm sorry that you have to take everything and spin it into a negativity. There's a lot of bad rides that happen to get to this country, but we're here now, and that's kind of how it has to happen sometimes. The idea that you can dissect a morally wholesome holiday and try and create something out of it is just, I think it speaks more to your character than anything else. Speaking to the more spiritual aspect of it, the more mental aspect of the holiday itself, there's a lot of division out there these days. Even after the election, there's still division. Families aren't talking, people aren't talking. So, this is a day that you set that stuff aside. Unless, you really want to leave early, you can bring it up and walk out of the room, do your thing. But the reality is, in all seriousness, put all the pettiness aside today. Life comes at you fast, and things can happen in the blink of an eye. And this time next year might not be as good to you as it was from last year until this year. And I think that it's important that we all take into perspective how thankful we need to be for everything that we have, the luxuries and the liberties that we get, and how much worse it could really be. There's all kind of examples around the world. If you really want to look, it's not too hard. So kiss your loved ones, make the phone calls today, spend some time on the phone, and celebrate everybody that walks into your life today with open arms, because that's what this is all about. It's not about hostilities. It's not about politics. It's just about reflecting and being thankful for everything that you have in front of you. So this has been the Far From OK podcast, special Thanksgiving episode. I don't even know why I felt the need to do this. I hope you guys enjoy it. But I just wanted to say, I love my family. Chrissy and Isabella, you guys are amazing. But I just wanted to say I hope everybody gets full till they fall asleep. Maybe go out and do some shopping later. Get a bunch of stuff that's underpriced and probably not even worth the money you're going to pay for it. But whatever. Enjoy it in the moment. It's always fun for these couple days. I hate this time of year because it drains your bank account. But what are you going to do, right? So enjoy it. Celebrate it. Don't hold anything back, Have another slice. Eat another piece. Stay 5 minutes longer and have the conversations. So you guys have a good one. I love the support and all the people that are here and listening. And just want to say happy Thanksgiving. And I hope you guys all have a good one. And if you see somebody who's not, pick them up today. This has been the Far From OK podcast. Please follow us. Please follow us on YouTube at the Far From OK podcast. And it's unofficially sponsored by Stewart Pest Control. If you're in the Pittsburgh area and you need any kind of pest control services, get a hold of Stewart Pest Control, and we'll get the bugs that are bugging you. Later.